quick cut. Double check the steering wheel. Control.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
Nice and smooth. Get it all done all day long. Got a good feeling about today, guys.
Donnie Kite's going to get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
Too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
I knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa. GC Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Tonight, it's a trip to a triangle, the Tricky Triangle, as the Mystic Racing League gets all set to go from Pocono Raceway. Tonight, the Slim Chickens Cup Series looks to get roaring for 275 miles as we get set for the Tricky Triangle 275 here on VSPEED. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's coverage. I'm Justin Prince. Alongside me is Wilson Cook. Cameras are provided by the great Dougie Beard for tonight's coverage as we get set for the one, the only, Pocono, Morgan. It's going to be an interesting one tonight.
Yeah, there's really nothing like this racetrack. The fact is, it's a combination of three racetracks that came before it. I'm going to try and get these right. I usually make a mistake. I think it's Trenton, Indianapolis, and Milwaukee Mile, if I'm not mistaken. Those are the three corners that this track is modeled after. Different lengths of corners, different lengths of straightaways, different bankings. It is very difficult to get the car proper. You're going to struggle in one part of the racetrack. Your question is, which ones are you good at? Which ones do you struggle at? Drivers will have issues all night around this 2.5 mile racetrack.
And in turn, as we get set for tonight's lengthy race, there's a lot to consider when it comes to the points, first of all, to think about it. Second, things that happened in the past week or so, because as we transition into the summer months here and have a lot of different racetracks the next few weeks, it's going to get more and more tricky. Now, keep in mind, Echo Park, Anthony Marino Jr. was credited after a review with the win Morgan, you have more details on that for what happened on the last race on that schedule.
Yeah, that was in the National Series, if I'm not mistaken. Regardless, Marino will keep the win from that event. Just a race control mistake was made, but no big deals. And we're going to move on here to the grid.
Yes, indeed. So on that note, as they'll extend one lap for the pace laps also, these drivers will look like this. Jesse Whittington makes his Cup debut tonight and immediately is on the pole. Anthony Marino Jr. back up a speed from Echo Park with second place from the qualifying order. Then row number 2, Christian Barnes runs alongside Dustin Lewis, and the 8 machine is Lewis. Row number 3, you transition back an extra spot or two. Putting in goods there, Zachary Kane. You looked good last time out. He'll be up towards the front to start tonight. Joshua Gillen was the driver who originally had taken the credit for the win with race control. Eventually, we mentioned changing that last week. Jacob Cochran was alongside for qualifying here. Rounding at the top 10, Chris Romano makes an appearance. Then it's Gavin Henson rounding out the top 10.
Starting 11th tonight, Isaac Wilson in the 93 with Skylar Dixon making a debut in 12th. 13th for Jack Fiffner, he's back in the 55 with John Ullman. Mainstay in the series will start 14th tonight. 15th for Trevor Yates in a Kyle Busch-esque throwback, if I'm not mistaken. Ricky Paz starts in the 16th position. 17th for Charles Robertson in the 17 with David Moyer making a return to the series in 18th. In your top 20, John Steller and Robbie Adams.
21st goes to Reggie Kime. 22nd, Lauren Vincent. Those drivers towards the bottom of the order with Dave Billings and Zach White. Amongst those also looking to get sorted. We'll see if they're able to keep it clean. Elijah Maupin in 25th. River Hayes, he'll start down in 26th this evening. 27th, Beckett Brown, Corey Jones down to 28th in the 63. Harold Tucker III and Jared Snyder are the 30 that will take to the grid from Pocono. And as we get prepared for tonight's action here, Morgan, it's going to be a long one. It's going to be important to think about strategy in particular, because there is one thing to think about in the fuel mileage is, can you even make it in a stage? The estimates say no.
Yeah, this racetrack always versus fuel mileage, because you can pit here and not lose a lap should you be within, I think it's like 10 seconds of the leader. 110 laps here tonight, 50 miles an hour on pit road. Watch that with the iRacing update to pit road speed. Very, very easy to speed on all racetracks now, especially here getting to pit road. The fuel window and the tires, 4 sets of tires, 25 to 28 on fuel. The exact number I was given was 26.8, so you could probably save a fair bit. I don't know if you can get to 30 though, which is end of stage 1 plus the pace laps. End of stage 2 at 65, and the fixed setup as we've seen most of the season here. It's going to be difficult, I think, to save enough fuel to get to the end of stage 1, though I imagine some drivers will try it.
Especially when we get an early caution flight, because one of the trends usually at Pocono is you'll have a race, normally in NIS specifically, that's caution, 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 long run, caution, caution, caution. But that in mind here tonight, different players up at the front here at least to start off the evening with qualifying. Who are you keeping an eye on the most out of these drivers this evening?
Well, the two I'm keeping an eye on did not qualify particularly well at all, and they're right there on your screen. Beckett Brown and River Hayes are the two I'm keeping an eye on. We'll look for them to rocket through the pack. For drivers who did qualify up front, obviously Jesse Whittington making his Cup Series debut in the 15. That 15's been fast no matter who's driving it. See if that trend continues here tonight.
And interesting enough to see Ricky Paz, who has had experience in the NASCAR ladder with the College Series at one point, was also a part of Team USA's Talent Scout event about a year or two ago for Innit Esports. He's popped up around his name in particular in the sim for years. In fact, was in the broadcast scene about 5-ish years ago. He's been around for a bit. But the field is getting ready to see who's going to stay around at the front at Pocono. Michigan has already had a talking point of being a very different drafting field with the update. that happened this past week. Let's see how they are at Pocono this time. We're happy with us here on VSPEED for the Slim Chickens Cup Series. Ready to roar. Pace car is off. Field in the hands of Barney the flagman. Green flag is out. We're underway for the tricky triangle. Trouble from the race lead. Marino Jr. nearly spun it after a good start down the front. Able to hold on with 3 wide stacking up behind. And the 48 nearly spun in front of the pack.
Yeah, that's that treacherous turn too. The tunnel turn went in there and it just did not stick. The driver still struggling further back. I saw King get into the side of the 8. No, that wasn't King. That was Chris Romano in a very similar paint scheme to Zachary King.
Yeah, and now as they all try and settle on up, King is the one in second. This is a track that you can search around a little bit at least for grip, or rather for pace. Higher up, some people like to go up there, get the runs built up by the time you get up to the tunnel turn in particular. And you have to get single file in a lot of cases these days with this car. It's so hard to maintain momentum if you are side by side. Good example, Yates just smacked the wall behind him.
Yeah, Yates a little bit snug into that corner, didn't turn, caught the wall, but these cars, as they say in certain circles, are tanks and don't necessarily take a ton of damage from those light contacts. But here in turn 3 at one of those spots, you can make a lot of things happen. There's about 4 different grooves, 4 different combinations of lines you can run down there in 3 to make speed down this incredibly long straightaway.
Of note, Jared Knopfsnyder has gotten a connection flag. That came out during the pace laps coming up to the green flag. Race control attempted to clear it 5 separate times. And obviously the sim said, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, some would say that that's too many. About 5 too many when it comes to connection flags.
Absolutely. But that in mind, 2 teammates working together, 3rd and 4th, you've seen there. Also, one of the drivers making a bit of inroads here, Skylar Dixon, who I'm guessing wants sponsors because he has the advertise here look here tonight everywhere on the car.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, keep moving forward. You might fill some of those sponsorship slots.
I mean, if you do well enough, you're going to press some drivers. Knopfsnyder coming out of pit road is cutting through the grass. They all zip on by him.
This is a very sketchy pit exit because it's in turn 1.
Yeah, exactly, because the blue cone is before the entry.
Right.
It used to be after, but there were too many problems with drivers on the apron running through turn 1, so they eventually moved it a few years ago. Knopfsnyder did come out. He's now a few laps down. Marino Jr., for his sake, is back to second after nearly wrecking in front of the entire pack. It would feel a lot better for him to get 2 wins in a row, you would have to say, and get another win for this 48 car.
Yeah, this car is crazy fast. To go back to whatever it was, 6th, and drive back through the field up to 2nd in 5 laps is unreal.
He is a little bit tight with the arrow you see with the scrape of the wall, but back to single file driving, if you will.
I heard this car was absurdly tight tonight as well, so not surprising to see drivers just scrape the wall a little bit because it will not turn out of the corner.
Some people like loose cars. A lot of people like stability, but also it's hard to make sure you don't burn up the right front. And I think a lot of your top drivers are going to be the ones that with a tight setup, Morgan, it's about tire conservation on that right front and how much you're able to baby it, while also not losing the draft like these cars you see here have done.
And this is a very easy track to burn the right front tire up, especially into this corner here. See, remember Hayes does to try and mitigate that. But you want to just drive it in there. It's such a wide corner. You want to just sail it off in there and roll the top side, make it stick, but that hurts the tires. Now he's loose, getting back to power quickly. That'll definitely take pressure off the right front, but right rear might be a little bit angry if you keep sliding it like that.
Hayes second in the points in the Caswell Glass Company Series. Coming into this week, by the way. But he's been solid when he's made appearances in the open car in this series. Now, Gavin Henson. He's been pretty solid this season. Top 10 now in the points entering tonight. That's the current estimates for him for Waterforce. So right now, he's had decent pace. Only the one podium so far for the 39 after being the driver who hunted for wins in every single crown jewel last year.
Yeah, it's something about just the field this year has really risen. And it's made a lot of our regulars better, Gavin being one of them. I look at Christian Barnes as well, obviously champion last year. Another driver who is benefited from having more drivers come in. I mean, we're seeing one make his debut and lead the race right now. We didn't see much of Marino last year. We got to go back a little bit further to guys like Ricky Paz and Beckett Brown making more returns, and River Hayes, et cetera, et cetera. But the talent level in this series has gone up. And all three of the NASCAR series from Mystic Racing have gone up significantly in this calendar year.
Yeah, we've had Ashton Crowder, former eNASCAR driver, make some starts in the National Series in recent weeks. He actually picked up the win last night in Caswell Glass Company Series Racing, and had talked about trying to bring more drivers to Mystic in general, including potentially Brennan Poole for the NASCAR side, because he has experience currently working as a unofficial driver coach for the sim.
That's right.
But right now, there's a lot of attention with the expectations, and we've seen that too, I think, and say with the IndyCar series, with a lot of community members taking to running in Mystic in to start up that series in the past few months.
Yeah, we've seen from definitely some crossover from the IndyCar side. Guys like, I mentioned again, Ricky Paz, as we watch the battle for the lead here between Whittington and Marino Jr. But Paz running in 12th. I saw John Stellard is back in 22nd. Those guys carrying the flag for the IndyCar series for Votive, and they have been very good in that series, running for top fives, wins often. Stellard won the 500 earlier this month. And yeah, they're bringing on more and more drivers, and it's rising all the boats. The tide is really incredible here in Mystic Racing League. Drivers are getting better all across every series.
That's the hope as a league is you want to stay stationary. Yes, you want to have a good core, but you also don't want it to where the competition level is the same, per se.
Right.
Because it gets stale. Is that the wrong way to say it?
No, I think you're right about that. The same driver, if you see the same drivers, say, you know, you have a 30-car field, you see the same 25 drivers in all series across the week, it does get stale. You go, man, I've seen this guy every week, and I'm racing against the same 2 or 3 guys every week because I am as fast as I am, they're as fast as they are. When you start to mix it up and you get new, we'll say fresh blood, oh, there's a wall contact for Dixon up into the outside wall, you start to get new drivers in here. As Beckett Brown's charged the field as well, up to 13th at this point. You end up with drivers that can elevate.
Speaking of elevating, Marino Jr. just about put Whittington in the wall. New race leader, Marino.
Lewis, I think, just hit the fence as well. Car way off the pace.
Yeah, got a little bit squirrely. Heard a call of a good save from Christian Barnes. So new leader in one circumstance, loose situation right here.
Yeah, I think off of, oh yeah, that thing was sideways off of 2. Yeah, that is a great save. Holy cow. Over the bumps and everything. I think this is where the pass happened as well. Marino slid right on by Whittington.
Yeah, and you see the hit to the wall afterwards with the dirty air for the first time, really, for the 15 since the end of the first lap. And Marino Jr. looking to establish long run. Now, obviously, based on the estimates, we're nearly halfway to the fuel run already here, Morgan.
Right.
A lot of these drivers are going to have to think, do they want to take the risk of splitting it equal, or if they go and top off late? I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people, if it stays green, just keep the tires on for until the end of the stage to save time down pit road here.
Yeah, I don't think tire wear is all that. I mean, we've only lost 4 tenths over 12 laps, so I don't think tire wear is really going to be the biggest thing right now. I agree. I would much rather keep the tires on it, as Hinson's way out of line. Keep the tires on it and just put some gas in it, get to the end of the stage, and then take your 4 tires there.
And we're going to see, I think, a few people trying that call and a few others going to see if they can hold on the tires before the stage and then maybe stay out knowing they have to pit. There's a lot of different flexibilities here tonight. We'll see in a little bit. Hinson, you see, by the way, dropping. Zachary King just said he's pitting now. Yeah, there's a call now for the meatball machines. They're going to do this now.
Yeah, and we've seen them be very aggressive on strategy this week over in Gateway for the 51 machine for King. Not surprised he's the one to make the aggressive move, but yeah, I'd be a little bit worried about this one. I mean, that stage is at 30. I mean, you can make it from here, but yeah, I don't know. I just think it's a little early to make that call.
That's kind of the split it up strategy.
Right.
That was kind of alluding towards a possibility. Didn't say that'd be the play, but some are trying a different play where they did top off.
Fuel only for them too.
Yep, exactly. So that is going to be similar to what we'll see for the others. Now the difference will be, will it work for them in clean air for Romano and Wilson? King is in the pack with Harold Tucker, 35 seconds back of the race leader. As we take a look at the others down the straight.
There we go. Good little group here. This is Cochran in 3rd, all the way back to Dixon in 11th. Part of this train, and a fairly large gap back to Ullman for a duo of cars, and just some more scattered little flurries, if you will, further back throughout the field. Now look at King. So King right now working turn 3, Marino Jr. working turn 2. So pitting from, what was he, 4 seconds back of the lead, a little less than that, for just fuel only, put him almost a full lap down, but still enough to have breathing room the rest of the way for King, that is.
Let's make it all the more interesting for a few of the competitors here as they stretch about. Top 2. This is a pretty astounding gap. 3 seconds Marino and Whittington have done. These are drivers that, for the case of Marino, this is 7th start. And we mentioned Whittington, this is 1st.
Right.
This is outright dominant pace compared to the regulars. They're up to half a second a lap quicker.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what it is that they're doing that is so efficient on the racetrack. I mean, there's only a handful of drivers in the 54-second bracket, and in the top 5, there's only a couple of them. Barnes is plugging the bottle right now. That 27 is well off the pace compared to everybody else. Lewis going to go right around him. Fiftner's going to try as well. I think Barnes is the reason this pack broke up from the top group. King probably has something to do with it as well. But like, look how much faster everyone else behind the 27 is down the straightaway. So we're 3 wide.
A little bit of movement there. Barnes backs up.
Barnes is trying to save it. He has to be.
Yeah, with an entry like that, absolutely. You know, the interesting thing I've noticed going through a couple drivers amongst this 3 wide pack 2, near contact for the 17 as he backs out a bit with Ricky Paz to the inside. Some of the drivers here are running 3rd and 4th gear down most of the straightaways outside of running 5th down the front with the draft.
Right.
The leaders are all in the 4th and 5th with the pace they're running. These drivers are running a full gear lower on average down the straights.
Which doesn't save you fuel, so I don't really understand why that's the move, because you have higher RPMs running in third gear, right? I'm surprised that you would want to run it that low, especially if the leaders are running only fourth and fifth. They would be significantly faster and be saving much better fuel. I don't really understand the move to go down to third gear.
Yeah, that's right in the heart of the corner. Usually I don't necessarily think of third gear of Pocono unless we're talking Gen 6.
Right. Or like in a 4-gear transmission, certainly. Third gear was well used into turn 1 and off of turn 1. A little bit in turn 3 as well, but yeah, to go down to third and a 5-speed is aggressive, to say the least.
Becca Brown took an aggressive cut to the inside on Hinson. This is for 6th. Brown, one of those who's been able to pick up wins. And remember, originally was set to be fill-in driver per se in a couple races. Now has ran just about the whole season. Now with the 12 entry, which is a part-time car. Seen Hinson squeeze to the wall there by him, by the way. No damage for the 39. Brown, he has a chance in theory for the title. He's only got 5 top 5s and top 10s, but he's got himself 3 wins for a reason. He's second in the series in wins.
Yeah, he has been really just something else. You mentioned it was here for a spot start. I think it was at Coda he was supposed to spot start and went out and won the race. And everyone was like, okay, that's interesting. So he got another shot. And then he won that race. And then he won another one early in the season as well. And he's to the point now where on that damn motorsports team, he has just been filling in whichever car's lowest in owner points to try and prop them back up while keeping the driver points just the same.
Absolutely. We're almost towards the end of the stage. We're at less than 12 to go. This time by the way, as you see some of the battling with Hinson.
Somebody just crashed. Robbie Adams just crashed on Hit Pit Road.
That's the 41 car making an appearance. That is the Rob's Custom Wraps guy, if you will.
Oh, that's Rob. Yes.
Yeah. You bumped up with sponsors before, now starting with Waterforce tonight. Welcome to the Cup Series. What? Was he trying to pit?
I think so. I think he just didn't like the transition down off the racetrack, I think is all it was. Try one more time from the in-car here.
That car took a hard turn to the left, I think, while he tried to think about either a stop or had some sort of mistake.
There's Stellard going by him. Oh, it just unloaded on him. Wow.
I don't know if I've seen it that aggressive when trying to enter the pit lane before you would get there. And this seems to be a team call window. Corey Jones misses his stall. And now 2 of the teammates have come down pit road for service. Coming up to 10 to go in the stage. Now it becomes the question, when does everyone else yield for stops? Paz making the moves on screen for 6th now.
Yeah, drivers, I think, we saw this with Fiftner just a moment ago. The difference in speed is going to be not getting tight off of 2 as Cochran and Lewis hit pit road.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is going to be interesting. Who picks up any speeding issues? You mentioned the adjustments with the iRacing and Sim. Essentially, the gist of it is it's a lot more stricter.
It is.
And on the road side in particular, there's more talk that changed how it works for a certain rev band to be able to work with the pit limiter, if you will. It's complicated the way they phrased it, but there were a fair amount of people actually booked for speeding in some of the races at Gateway and a couple other different leagues I've seen over the course of the week so far.
Yeah, if you want to get really technical about it, before you could go, I think it was 1.6 miles an hour over and not get busted all the way down the pit lane. That was just fine. Now, if you go a tenth over and you hold it for more than a second or so, immediate black flag. So far, far stricter. There's no pushing it anymore, no hustling it. If the speed limit's 50, you go 50, and you don't even go think about going over it, because you'll get that penalty right away. So a little bit different how it used to be done, and it's a hot topic right now, but definitely more realistic than being able to speed all the way down pit road.
Absolutely. Hayes, by the way, you've seen as one of the drivers who just finished up their service. There are a couple people.
Hayes sped off pit road.
Oh no. The 81, that may very well lose him a lap, and
Probably will.
He did go up to 56 for a split second during one of the segments.
Just so we were talking about, there is no ability to push it at all on pit road. Yates on pit road here. Battle back here. This is 23rd. Lewis has flipped in front of Cochran with 2 tires as well on the 8.
That's interesting. I think he's one of the few that's taken a set. Hayes may have been also one, but everybody else has taken only 5-6 seconds in the lane. Dave Billings takes his service. Lewis looking to take what would be second out of those who have pit so far. King is the highest up out of anybody by a couple seconds right now. It's worth noting, I was about to say, a couple drivers like Clayton Good are clutching, coasting around the track as they try and save the gas. Vincent amongst those who have to come in this time as the battle is on for P2. The strategy, and Harry Marino Jr. did not like what he just seen with traffic. Harold Tucker was down at the bottom of the track and nearly got ran over because he started the corner by hitting the wall at the top of it.
Let's check it out. Oh, yeah, that's... Oh, boy. That car had... Oh, and then he hit the apron and went way up the racetrack in the center of the corner as well. Yeah, that's frustrating for the leader.
He said, I was going to stick to the bottom, I think is what he said on the radio.
On pit road.
Yep. And so,
did Hayes speed again? No, he's got to do a drive-through. Sorry, I thought I saw him speed again. I was be like, oh my goodness.
He's still serving black flags.
That'll be what, a 26-second hold, if I'm not mistaken?
Usually it's about a 40.
It's 40? Yeah, goodness gracious.
Now, as they go about, Whittington's taking a service. Marino Jr., don't think we've already seen him saving too much over the course of the run. If anything, pushing to get away from the pack. See, peel on down this time. He's got a 5-second cushion on Beckett Brown, making about 6 seconds now, in fact. We take the left turn. Yes, he will. Marino Jr. has led 15 laps tonight. We'll take it underneath the yellow cone. This is about on the point of the laps we were expecting. Brown took a conservative on entry. They're all in for service as everyone choo-choo trains in.
Yeah, a few drivers left on the racetrack. Pfiffner, Hinson, Dixon, the top drivers running who haven't been on pit road yet. Pfiffner getting that sweet, sweet draft from the 63 in front of him.
Pfiffner says he's betting this time by, so he's able to extend a lap. Gavin Hinson's doing the same thing. Zach White will do the same. John Stellard will also do the same. So Skylar Dixon also joins the list. Everybody making sure they call out their pit stalls. John Ullman going to come down this time by. It's going to become more of the question, who can do so? The estimate that we're getting for some of the data can go up to 2 laps to go with their fuel limit tonight. And right now, Zachary King is still your top driver based on the track for pit stops, but Charles Robertson is in his wake. You see Barnes, how much still staying out this time?
I think Barnes has a card to play here. Remember, he was up in the top 5 or so. He fell back to 12 seconds behind Beckett Brown. And you heard it right there. You didn't hear anything because that car is off into the corner. I think he can make it to the end of the stage.
I mean, based on the fuel math, you only need to save about 2 or so,
right?
Give or take. See right there. See
See
how
how-
he's keeping it in fifth.
And how quickly he's clutching. Like, he clutched the entire corner. He hasn't done on the throttle until well on the exit.
Third on track, Clayton Good is doing the same thing. Joshua Gillen went even harder on the clutch and coast. Started it midway into toward turn 3.
And he's just chasing. He's just trying to keep in touch with Barnes. And with the draft, Gillen's in an even better spot than Barnes is. Reggie Kime on the same strategy. Caution's out. Robertson and King.
And those were the drivers battling for the top spot out of those who pit. Kane hit the wall and on a turn 2 into the path of 17.
Well, that makes it really easy for the guys who didn't pit here, because you end up you just won the stage. Congratulations.
That would be Christian Barnes unofficially with it. It is the stage. There's the reason.
Yeah, King just got tight. Way up the racetrack and caught the fence in a big way. See one more time here. Who got really lucky out of this was Dustin Lewis. Just about. Well, I mean, when you block all the way down to the yellow line in a corner, you already have trouble not making the corner. He got help too.
Yeah, that was a little bit of contact on the entry that might have caused that too.
Do we know that we're only 28 laps into a 110 lap race? I don't know if either driver knows that.
Yeah, we're longer than NIS tonight for reference. And so, this will end off the stage. Race controls already called it for Christian Barnes, Joshua Gillen, Clayton Good, Reggie Kime, Dustin Lewis, Hinson, Whittington, Wilson, Cochran, and Romano are right now in your top 10 as they pace. We still have a couple laps to get to 30 exact. And nobody will peel in this time by, so they'll stay behind the iRacing pace car and
Pit
wait for
road
things to finalize.
should be closed still. Except Whittington hit pit road, which I think is going to be illegal. King needs damage repair, but I think that's going to be a black flag for Whittington on the restart.
Keep an eye on it here. Whittington also came in that time. Zachary Keane with the incident. They have now extended the caution to make sure everyone's on the same page here.
Oh, he just rolled through.
I don't know why he would just come in and roll through.
I imagine he thought that was the stage and you could pit. Not that we're good, because we pace it out to 30. That's how Mystic Racing League does it when it comes to caution at the end of the stage. What happens seemingly every week now is we pace to the end of the stage, probably didn't realize that. So instead of getting a bigger penalty and pitting, just roll through. Maybe you won't get the black flag whenever it comes at the end of for the next run here, because you already technically served it by dropping to the end. Probably the thought I'm thinking for Whittington.
That would essentially give Beckett Brown the 10th spot.
Right.
With everyone behind Whittington moving up.
Right.
So the 12 gets a point at least.
Right. I mean, Whittington also, I mean, we're, 16 races into the year, 17 races into the year? Points are not of concern here for the 94. 15 on your screen. We are running for wins for that car, so I don't think the one stage point lost is going to concern him terribly much.
The entire field continues to pace itself up to that mark. 1 to go in the stage this time by. And now it gets interesting for those who had just came in. We're talking in the situation of a lap or two for the caution flag. Charles Robertson pit? Question mark?
Again, I think it's end of 30 that the stage ends, not beginning of.
And obviously race control have to look and make sure on everything to make sure no one makes an illegal stop, if you will. But as they still pace here, the point I was going to make is it gets interesting if anybody tries to risk staying out on the racetrack and take an earlier stop for stage 2, because it would have worked out for a solid run regardless for Kane and company if they didn't crash.
Right. And they would have been top 5 if this worked out, because I think Barnes and Gillen could make it. I think Good and Kime were running too hard too late in the run to be able to save enough fuel to make that work. So I think they probably would have inherited a podium in the stage, talking about Robertson and King, whoever finished higher. But of course, that remains to be seen because they both ended up hitting the wall and effectively taking themselves out of it. And they're going to have damage the rest of the day also, because there's no fast repair in this series. Should see drivers on pit road this time, I think, right, Justin?
This is the completion stage this time by, so it would be next time.
Next time. So I wonder how nervous Barnes, Gillen, Good, and Kime are. Remember, they haven't pit at all in this race. Everyone else has been on pit road at least once. Actually, just once, save for a handful of drivers in the back of the field. But those four are leading the way. They ran out of gas. Gillen says yes, maybe not. It's going to be treacherous here, this final pace lap.
This is the end of the stage here officially. Barnes, Gillen, Good, Kime, Lewis, Hinson, Wilson, Cochran, Romano, Brown. Now your top 10 after a couple drivers had to come down and take some pit stops before the end of the stage with the fuel mileage situation. Zachary King just had to come down again this time through. And as the 51 takes the roll through pit lane back to the box, we should see a flurry of pit stops here. Good effort by the 27, 10, 91, and 9 to try and stretch it and get the luck of the caution. And now, depending on what happens, are going to be in a good spot for track position regardless here.
Yeah, it should cycle nicely for them. I think most drivers will be hitting pit road here. Again, I would expect potentially Hinson to stay out. I could see Pfiffner, Brown, Paz, Marino staying out. They only pit 4 to 5 laps ago. They were just off pit road as the cautions came out, so their tires aren't hurt. It's just really a fuel question. I don't know. It could go either way, but there's still 26 cars on the lead lap here.
Gillen chiming in, watching along the broadcast while he drives. Said pretty simply, he's good on gas.
Good.
He's got 2 more.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it. The whole Indy 500, he was typing while he was driving, and we were holding a conversation. It was very impressive. So I got to give props to the 10 always for being able to multitask in such a great fashion. I can barely chew gum and walk at the same time without getting a concussion. Impressive.
Indeed. And as you can see, pit party time. Ricky Paz is the one who tries the different call, along with Skylar Dixon, Elijah Maupin, and Dave Billings try and use the slightly older tires, if any, and try and get track position. Keep in mind, all of those drivers did take a 4-tire stop, with that being the plan. A couple of them have missed their stalls. That includes Barnes and Lewis having issues.
Cochran, too. And Gillen also missed pit road, or missed his pit stall, I should say.
Bruno Jr. first off, and he only topped off. Same for Beckett Brown and Jack Pfiffner. Barnes took 4. David Moyer top off only. Clayton Good 4 tires. Wilson, Ullman, Lewis are the drivers who will also come out in sequence. And with this being a quicker track for caution periods, we're already getting just about set to get back to work. Again, we'll be running to 65 for stage number 2 tonight, Morgan. And a little bit longer than the last stage, actually. Once we get back going by a couple laps, going to be even harder to save.
Yeah, it's going to be close. I mean, instead of going 30, you're going to have to go, by the time you get back racing, 32. It looks like 30. Yeah, about 32 laps on fuel. So I don't think anyone's going to be able to do that unless they start clutching immediately. And at that point, you're probably going to lose a lap if you clutch that hard. Even though we're running almost 50-second lap, or almost minute laps, that's a long time to be aggressively saving. And one caution ruins your entire strategy. So I imagine we'll see everyone pit once in that stage unless we end up with a bunch of cautions that end up cycling it out properly in that regard. Trey, Carol Tucker the third sped on pit road.
So the 79 having issues there. A couple drivers getting penalties for pitting under the caution period. That includes Kane and a few others. And as they get all set to go, Paz on the inside, Dixon on the outside, Maupin, Billings in order. Marino Jr. chose the outside. I wouldn't be surprised if 48 shoves it 3 wide if he can. Try and get around the drivers quickly who have not established the lead pace yet.
I think it's going to be a race right off the rip between Marino Jr. and Brown. Now, they're in the same chat, so I would hope that they coordinate this in a way that doesn't put them in danger because they have been both very, very fast. Remember, Brown started all the way in the back, drove up to the top 5 on pace. Marino Jr.'s led the most laps today. All they have to do is just make it through those first 4 cars without hitting anything, and they could probably get out and get gone while these 4 in front of them try and sort their stuff out.
So ready to roll, coming to 77 to go in the race in of itself for those wanting to follow along with that. Again, run to 65 in this stage, so that will leave us the run of about 32 laps to work with. Let's get back flying here in the Slim Chickens Cup Series here this evening. Field taking time to roll their way through what turn 4? Turn 3, if you will. Paz, ready to fire off on the inside. Green, back on our way. Good start for the 99. One stays pretty stationary in line. A few swaps, and there's the aggressiveness we were expecting. Marino Jr. went to the bottom for the 3 wide.
You said 3 wide, and he got there. Oh, he's not going to clear, though. What a move. Center off. We got cars wobbling in the back. Some on the apron. Ullman's one of them. Back up front. We're not done yet.
White got some damage. Race lead is on. Here comes Dixon. Up the inside, and Dixon nearly set himself on the wall. Paz loses the lead, and Marino Jr. already is in second with the fire off.
This 48 is unreal today.
I think he's got something to prove, to say the very least, on speed.
3 wide behind him.
Yeah, Billings losing a lot of ground. David Moyer the same.
About to be 3 wide, 2 rows deep.
Now look at this Chevrolet. Now to the door. Now staying along the inside.
Still almost 3 wide.
Still nothing doing. It is still 3 wide because Cochran's got the fender. Do they have to call for it? Billings nearly got pushed up the track with it.
And Cochran got them both.
Pass.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can, I mean, turn 2, you can do that. You can be very aggressive and sail it up in there as long as it sticks. If it sticks on the bottom, the pass is yours. If you miss the corner, you're wrecking all 3 of you. Oh, Billings. Oh, man. I don't think he realized Moyer wanted to go to the outside. That was almost a big accident.
Yeah, tight squeeze there from the 14, and now leading spot after spot since the restart here. This is a tough break when you try the track position game but have to find a way to get the pace. By the way, Isaac Wilson, he's been solid all season with points. He's still in second with a win now on the season to his credit, by the way, in recent weeks. 93 looking to try and move his way up into 7th again because Lewis is trying to hold on to that spot now.
Lewis is going to keep it for the moment, bring his teammate with him in the 88. Can he clear? Oh, Cochran hard into the wall. Oh, man, that's a big hit. Back up front. Marino Jr. stalking his prey. His Paz into the outside wall. Crossover? Nothing
Tried
doing.
it. Yeah, couldn't get the inside line working. Now it's side by side for the lead. Marino Jr.'s got the side draft on Dixon. Sponsorship needing car. Gets zoomed by. Look at that straight line speed for Marino Jr. Dixon gets tight. New leader again is the 48.
It's almost like Marino Jr. has a piece of tape on the nose or something. You know, this car is just unbelievably fast right now. You know what I'm referring to, right, JP?
Yeah, kind of so, yes, indeed. But I mean, on the bright side, you can't necessarily add the tape to get a penalty this time.
That's right. That's right. It's all
Pretty
fixed.
sure
Everyone's got the same stuff, but that car looks like it's way faster than everybody else right now.
Yeah, just has the fire off, has the mid run. But right now, Gavin Hinson was those that is still trying to pluck away spots here. In the case of Hinson, 15th right now. Hasn't really been able to pick up the spots. Same we said right now for Hayes after his penalty. He's able to maintain on the lead lap. And now the 81 trying to fight it on out at least to pick up some spots here in the choo-choo train.
And in front of him is Whittington, who, remember, rolled through pit road, went to the back of the field, 13th.
For Whittington, it's the challenge. Can he prove he can go the back up to the front here this evening? Still, though, plenty of laps, as we know, in the stage, and obviously pit stops to think about. Some of the other drivers, how they've made some moves tonight. Elijah Maupin's up there. A little bit of a dart to the inside because Hinson's got damage. I think Hinson had an issue in the past couple laps because his bumper's been crushed in. And he nearly turned left and nearly spun it.
That car not driving well at the moment. We got to battle a little further up for Ted, Yates, and Fiffner, along with Maupin.
Can confirm the reason for the Hinson damage is, you know why Whittington originally came down pit road? Lap 28, he actually ran into the back of the 39 with the caution flag. That might have explained why Whittington tried to come down.
Yeah, that is not what you're looking for. Then why did he roll through pit road, too? That's even more of a question. Should just cut the damage repair at that point, but I digress. Whittington's still right back there in 13th.
Trying to pluck away spots. Dixon is under attack, by the way. You see also the attacks on screen. There's the Dixon attempts with Brown trying to pass. Brown knows he's faster. Dixon lets him go. There's the give and take that you would expect here.
Crossover.
89, I mean, has to attempt it, right?
Wow.
But Brown obviously knows if they get a crossover battle, Marino Jr.'s gone.
I don't know how that 12 did not get right hooked into the wall. That was such an aggressive clear. Oh, 89 got loose into the corner. Going to give Paz another shot at it. Who's hanging tough, mind you. Ricky Paz is. No one else from that group who stayed out really all that competitive at the moment.
Yeah, this is kind of what you expect when it comes to Paz. Solid I rating, has been a solid competitor for a while, off and on. And tonight, that 99 has been able to keep itself with the strategy here inside the top 5 to start the stage. Still have about 25 laps to work in this stage, by the way. Trevor Yates, amongst those that have just broken into the top 10 over Fiffner. It's the first side-by-side, and amongst the train, everybody else is trying to figure out the best way to plot and plan. Second is side-by-side again, as well. And Dixon just slammed to the side of Brown's car and had to get off the gas.
I don't think these two like each other at the moment.
Yeah, got blocked one time. Says, you know what, I got the run. I'm going to try and send it. Right there, got the cut. Then got tight.
And he went way up the racetrack to get into Brown's door. As Maupin's got a problem.
Let's find out what happened to him. We're just talking about how he was maintaining about 9th or so.
I think he hit the wall here. Not there.
Great hit.
No, he did not. That might have been what it was. That car just did not rotate on the exit here. 3 wide in turn 3 is not a good thing either. Yeah, just caught in a weird spot.
Skylar Dixon, for his measure, by the way, he's got a lot of pressure from behind from Lewis, because Lewis, a couple times on entry, has gone close and has actually one time grazed the bumper of the 89 here.
Oh,
look at
big
this
exit.
run.
All 3 got tight.
Caution.
Mono. Yes, that car has lost the hood.
And immediately onto the tow truck. I think he broke the hood so much that part of the hood stuck to the motor. Just got around Moyer, had issues, was compromised on line, and then, hello, Hinson.
Oh.
Now,
Yeah,
question is that
I don't
Hinson,
know why that happened.
I don't know if Hinson touched him or if he got just sent it in deep. I'm not sure.
Let's check from the nose of the 39. Great run off the exit for Hinson. He got him for sure. There was contact.
Telltale sign. Yep.
Yeah, that was interesting. I don't know if Hinson was displeased when Romano came up to the middle, or if Hinson just didn't realize where the braking zone was, lifting zone was for the 92 into the corner. I'm not sure what happened, but regardless, right? Oh, I think what happened is Romano blocked him to the middle and then blocked him back down into the corner. And Hinson just didn't have anywhere to go, I think is what happened. Either way, Romano will be done for the day.
So this will simplify the pit strategy, I think you could say, with less than 20 to go by the time we get back going. Don't be surprised to see everybody come on down and take their service as Marino Jr. sees lead eviscerated as a result. Hearing Zach White be the lucky dog. He is 1 lap down with heavy rear end damage on the car. What's been a quiet night for him after last night. He worked hard to make sure he didn't get a incident point disqualification and a strike, and the new penalty system unveiled.
Got exceptionally close, not quite as close as damn team owner Derek Jewett, who was 1 away from getting that penalty, but nonetheless, few drivers flirted with it last night at Worldwide Technology Raceway in Gateway.
And let's keep an eye on the pit stalls first. Joshua Gillen and Clayton Good do not pit? Question marks?
I mean,
Off the way.
it's theoretically possible you could make it to the end on fuel if you got caution laps, I suppose. If you could make it 30 without the cautions earlier, add the cautions 32 is another possibility, but that means you'd have to be saving the entire time. King and Ullman thought the same thing.
Yeah. The math is going to be an interesting one because they're hoping, including the pace laps to start the stage, that they somehow make it about your 35-ish laps.
Yeah, that's tough.
They know it's 65 and not 60, right?
They better hope. They better hope that it's 60, but it's obviously not. It's yeah. I don't know. That's an interesting call to make. Maybe you bank on more cautions. Maybe that's the strategy. Or at the end, you just pit for a splash. Should stay on the lead lap still. I don't know what exactly the plan is for these drivers. Maybe maybe Gillen can fill me in here in the chat what the move is for staying out.
As we come up to start lap 47, mind you, at best, 2-tire calls for just about everybody. A lot of fuel onlys believe. For those who did come down, they are not going to risk the pit road closed to come in for the fuel. Choose here, inside for the first two, outside for the next two. That will set Marino Jr. with an access point from row 3.
And essentially a zipper the rest of the way through the field. I don't think anyone really doing anything too crazy there. I think Hinson got charged with that caution, if I'm not mistaken.
As some of the fans are saying, this is the L plan, like EL plan. Let's find out if it's the smart plan, to say the very least. It's going to get interesting, to say the very least here. And now, can they keep the track position for that long while fuel saving? It's a huge question.
I don't know if there's any way to save track position over Marino and Brown. I mean, they have been lights out today. It's basically a carbon copy of that last restart. It's just 4 different cars in the front 4 spots.
So let's have an interesting one here. Elijah Maupin did get a penalty because they chose the wrong order. Passed the driver before the choose. Also a close call, Anthony Marino Jr. He got a warning from race control. Now Joshua Gillen and Zachary King, they're on your front row. These lines have to close up here pretty quickly.
Yeah, King's going to have to get farther up on the door of Gillen. He is way too far back.
I don't think he can.
He's in the second row already. Yeah, that outside lane's cooked.
Green flag is up, back underway. John Ullman also wasn't close on the bumper there. Not that tight there on the restart. Kane still gets in line for second.
Oh, we are multiple cars wide in turn 1 at Pocono. Fiftner bails. Oh, and Ullman caught the wall. Almost came down the racetrack into the door. I think that was a 93 almost clipped. As they flirt with 3 wide. Now they are 3 wide into turn 2. Oh, contact. Oh,
Here we go. Caution is out. Lewis Fiftner. Corey Jones spinning down the track just got into the 88. Vincent slammed on the brakes and we're under caution.
Yeah, Lauren Vincent in that one as well. Trevor Yates got a piece of it. Yeah, watch the black and green car. I don't think he realized that they were 3 wide. 89, terrific save. Oh, Cochran got a piece of it from Jones. Zach White just missed, but if we go on board with the 34, I think we'll see that he just kind of went down into the corner, not realizing this. Just turns into the corner, and yeah, I don't think he realized that there were cars there. Watch the 89, who had a terrific save here. Yeah, there's the parking lot down there in 2.
He was amongst those 3 wide also, originally at the start of the straightaway. But 71 was involved, 55 was involved.
And watch this save. Oh my goodness.
Good job saving it with the slide. I've seen a video today about from Parker White, or specifically Justin Yee actually, had an interview with Parker White as part of a challenge on what if you were able to cheat up your race car to be faster than the Coke driver. Is a long story. Essentially, it was talked about by Parker White that it's easier to go through a slide in the B and C class cars, but not with the Cup car.
Yeah, I can tell you from experience of many slides, this car is infinitely harder to get back in the right direction than the B and C car. With the B and C car, you can get sideways, do a quick lift, you know, steer it all the way, or like as far right as you need to, and back to center, have it straightened out and keep going in about a second and a half. Versus this car, if you even think about steering it past center and dumping the throttle like you would with the B or C car, it'll just plant the nose and go straight into the outside wall with no regard for human life.
And so we pace about here, as we still have, coming up to 15 to go in stage number 2 from Pocono. During one of the previous cautions, we were just talking about how things were working now with the new penalties with the incident points, if you will, in the series, Morgan. No, you were a part of that conversation in terms of its implementation. We mentioned a couple people did get close in the Caswell Glass Company series. Tonight, I don't think people getting as close to that new rule and getting a strike on the board.
Yeah, if you get close to 17X tonight, I don't know how you would do it with the car still running. I mean, that would just be exceptional. For those at home who aren't aware of the incident system in iRacing, anytime you go off the racetrack, so that's in the grass, all 4 tires, that's a 1X. That's 1 incident point. If you hit the wall hard enough to cause damage, or another car in a medium kind of fashion, like what we saw earlier with Hinson, that would be a 2X. If you body slam another car, make hard contact, that would be a 4X, like what we saw on that caution just moments ago. Those tally, and if you count 17, you get a drive-through penalty. We saw that happen, I think, 4 times last night. If you continue, you get 8 more, up to 25, you get an automatic kick from the session, and penalties levied on top of that. And many penalties that stack for multiple offenses, including things up to, removal from the league, demotion from the series, long suspensions, big points penalties. They're stiff penalties if you've had a chance to read them, Justin. You do not want to be flirting with those penalties, because that will ruin your season in one race.
And now we'll see who's going to avoid the troubles. I know some drivers we talked about were running half throttle, trying to avoid being a part of any trouble. I think a couple of them actually picked up the incident points that send them to past 17X with that. I don't think we see that tonight with how wide Pocono is, but that in mind, we're coming up to 14 to go, and we still are not sure if your front runners are going to be good on fuel here.
I think they're I would be feeling okay on fuel. I think the 10 can make it. I'm not sure about the rest of the crew, but the 10 has me, and I'd say probably the 51 as well. They should be okay on fuel. Marino obviously is good to go to the end, no problems. I would still look for the 48 to get out here 3 wide into turn 1, potentially get the stage lead by that 4 hit turn 2.
Here we go, coming up to 59 to go in the race in of itself. We're almost at the halfway point for the event. All set to roar with Gillen and Kane on the front row. Back on our way, and here comes Marino Jr. looking to take over second already.
Yeah, great jump for the 48. Already alongside King.
Few drivers in the heart of the field getting aggressive again. Rio Jr. not cleared yet. 3 wide with Barnes having to back off on the inside. Back at Brown. Holds on now to the 4th position. Still not done for 2nd. Here comes Dixon on the send. Right into Brown again.
Yeah, I don't think those two are thrilled with each other at the moment. It's the 2nd time that... Oh, there's contact. Wow. I don't know how Becca Brown didn't just lose that race car.
And Dixon backed off the pace there after the corner. Good with the save.
4 wide.
Right now they're getting close on the doors again. Dixon trying to stay up against the wall with Paz coming on through. Yellen still holds on to the race lead for now over Marino Jr. Was Dixon trying to let Brown get the spot back and then got passed by everyone else in the process?
I think the 93 just drove it in fairly deep and clipped the 89 in the door, and the 89 had to wobble up the racetrack to avoid wrecking. Yeah, just kind of a weird sequence. I mean, we saw obviously Dixon and Brown make contact, and then it just brought everybody back to them.
Definitely a weird one. But for Dixon, keeps chugging along. Whittington actually picking up back in the top 10 now in 9th. Race lead. Gonna get interesting in a moment. See that right there. See the 48? Taking his time to make the move here. He's using the outside to build up the run.
And there's no reason for him to push hard right now, because the drivers he's racing around, the nearest one who's got the fuel is Wilson. So as long as he gets by Gillen before Wilson gets by King, it's all good for the 48.
Absolutely. It's been a solid day in appearance here in the field tonight. Just trying to figure out the best way to go ahead here. Mind you, Zachary Kane on his strategy staying up front. Clayton Good got shuffled on his strategy down to 11th. The tightness on the fuel strategy. 11 to go in the stage. Once again, here from Pocono.
That 12 must have a sign on the door that says "hit me" that we just can't see. Got roughed up by Robertson down in 1 and 2, but that's what, the 3rd or 4th time the 12's been the subject of a little door-to-door contact already.
Yep, and now they're blocking aggressive up in the front for the race lead, by the way. Marino Jr. trying to look to the inside. Got blocked off by the 10. Gillen trying to keep Alplan working out well. Up the track, and they're both in the wall.
Top four. Wow. Don't see that very often.
Yeah, all of them dragging each other up the racetrack. And now, I think all of them avoided damage, but you don't want to do that and add 12.5 seconds of chassis damage or anything along those lines. Here comes the run Marino Jr.'s been looking for, though. Side draft is on. Pace is on. 48 pulls away from the side draft. Can Marino Jr. clear? Yes, he will. Gillen couldn't get to the bumper back, and he gets
Gillen got tight.
Instead.
Oh, man. He's going to lose it. 1, 2, 3. They'll stop it at 2 spots into turn number 3 here. Will the 12 get around him? No.
Now they all ride along with a couple drivers poking at the back. 10 laps to work with. Gillen getting loose in front of the field. Look who's up there. Charles Robertson fixed the front nose. The 17 is now up in the top 4.
A solid day for that blacked out 17. Can make it on field at the end of the stage. Only driver in the top 5 who we're questioning is Zachary King. 8 laps to figure out if they can make it or not.
Now they all try and figure out what to do next here. It's been a solid day for Zachary King. Glenn Good just made a call over the radio. Not sure what's going on with the 91, but something could be close there with the fuel strategy. I think that's why he started back off a little bit here.
Another driver who didn't pit when everybody else did.
Now, that's the difference between pitting and not pitting. Some of these drivers definitely going to have to be thinking about, but they have to use the clutch just to be safe here. Barnes, still fighting with Paz, by the way. 27 still looking to deliver solid performance here tonight. But the Motive Racing machine of Paz, better on the outside, clears.
Barnes will slide right into the gap. Zipper merge up off of 3. Here comes Whittington, pole sitter. Shuffled back after leading a few laps. Had the pit road mishap. Back into the top 10 for the 15.
That 15 machine, pretty solid in terms of pace this evening. Right now, some of the air battling going on. Ricky Paz, Joshua Gillen.
Oh, there's a
Contact,
crash.
and here we go. No caution yet. There it is. 99 and 10 collide. We're under yellow. Coming up to 6 laps to go in the stage at Pocono.
I think that just bailed out Zachary King.
And just like that, yellow flag is out. Let's see how close this got. I don't think the 10 tracked up to the wall.
No, he did not. See if we can get that off of corner exit here. There's Brown popping the wall. See, I think we'll see it here. Yeah, 10's 2 lanes off the wall. Paz expected him to track up. Got clipped and up into the fence. I think it's safe to say that was not part of our plan.
Definitely not.
Well, this is interesting now, because you're probably going to say this. We've only got, what, a 2-lap dash to the end of stage 2?
Yeah. Do you prioritize stage points or the strategy for the next stage?
I'm
Huge
flipping the
question.
stage here. If I'm not in the top 5, stage flipped. Oh, leader's going to hit pit road.
No, he's not.
No, but King will.
That's understandable with the fuel situation, though.
It is.
Back at Brown in. Not a lot of the front runners coming down.
Yeah, split decision. This is a good point where if you're making your first start in the series or you're not running for points, pit here. If you are running for points, get the stage points. It's a clear, what do you care about more right now decision.
Just like that. Get set to go here with Marino Jr. Going to be up at the front over Wilson, Robertson, Barnes, and Ricky Paz stayed out despite being in the incident. I don't know about that call there. He's got heavy right front damage. But with that being said, we're under caution here on VSPEED. Chance to take a step aside. Long way to go. We got less than 50 left from Pocono.
Real quick, you both stop the real quick cut. Double check the steering wheel.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
Nice and smooth. Get it all done all day long. Got a good feeling about today, guys.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and scores first career Cup Series. What a finish! Too little, too late from behind. And Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa. GC Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to VSPEED as we get ready for the end of Stage 2. Justin Prince, Morgan Cook with you. Cameras provided by the great Dougie Beard here again tonight. And as we said, a few drivers rolling the dice to stay out for stage points. A few already planning for the next one. We're coming up to what will be a 3-lap dash, Morgan, to decide the winner in stage number 2.
Yeah, stage 2 caution will fly here in mere moments, but until then, a few more times around to determine who's going to get those sweet, sweet bonus points as we head further into the campaign.
Ready to go. Green flag is out. And what a launch from the leader. Marino Jr. off and away.
Another zip code for the 48 today.
All worked away through turn 1. Right now, River Hayes amongst those making their way up to the front again. Ricky Paz, as you'd expect for the damage, really having troubles off the corner.
Yeah, that 99 is got a parachute on the right front, dropping like a rock. I think he was hoping he just grab some stage points. I don't think it's going to work out for him with the pace that car has. 3 wide in turn 2. They somehow, they're wrecking behind him. Zach White's in the wall. No yellow.
Caution.
Oh, that car's killed.
And that was with the 51 of King involved.
Oh, no.
Billings also got involved. Still no caution as Marino Jr. runs.
At 6/10. Let's go back with the 77 here. Already wrecked at that point.
Take a look at this carnage yet again. It's been a rough year for Zach White.
14, I think, lifted.
Yep.
Yes. And then they're 3 wide. Where is the accident here? Clean pass around Billings. Oh, White just missed the corner and got the worst of it for his efforts.
Saying rough season for the 77. Second still fighting. 1 to go in the stage. Hayes over Wilson. Right now Wilson's got the run though. Side drop back on the 93. Marino Jr. is well and gone for the stage. But the 93 sure wants to help out his championship hopes. A little squeeze up on Hayes. Back and forth they go.
Yeah, 2 of your top 5 in points. Fight for second, and Barnes not too far behind them either. He might get a 2 for 1 if they're not careful at a 2 here. Watch 27 back the corner up.
Didn't get the run he was looking for. Hayes got it, though. Tempers flaring up as they battle 4 wide of the back. Able to hold on to it there, but green-white checkered this time for Anthony Marino Jr. He'll get the stage over Hayes, Wilson, Barnes, Good, Robertson, Lewis, Brown, Vincent, and believe Dixon.
Dixon got it. Drag race. Yeah, something went on back here around the 88. And I don't know what it was. Go back a little further here. I saw Ullman also fall back a little bit. Oh, Ullman on the apron. Oh, way up the racetrack. That's what it was. And it checked this whole group up. And behind them, another issue. Something with Hinson.
This was another one of those uber aggressive battles popping up, you could say, at the end of this one. Some of these drivers.
Oh, Romano just buzzed the 88. Oh, wow. As King's trying to move Stellar, that was, woo, or 25, the 25 car. This was close. One more time here.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, that was close. Chaotic end of the stage, stage 2.
Yeah. Chaos reigning supreme, I guess you could say. And now we should see a vast majority of the field pit, except for a couple. Dixon, Winnington, Hinson, Stellard, King, along with Yates and Gillen would be the candidates, if they so choose, of course, to potentially stay out there under this caution, because here's the thing. At the very minimum, it's a one-stopper in the stage. Math-wise, should be that case, where you absolutely can't just fuel save the rest away. Now, cut down to the left. Not sure why Good's trying to make a pass on Barnes here.
Whittington, the first driver to stay out.
A couple of those who ended up hitting under the last caution actually coming down again. But Whittington, Hinson, Stellard, and King do stay out on the racetrack. Out of those we talked about. And now, service is on. Haven't really thought about the fall off too much tonight. Still about 4/10 at the very most with all the caution flags we see.
Yeah, tire is not a major factor this evening. We saw drivers who took 4 on one of those yellows and restarted up in the top 4. One stayed up at the front, the other 3 dropped through the field. So I don't think tires are the be-all, end-all of speed here tonight. Reno Jr. lost like 5 spots off pit road. Took 4 tires.
Yeah. A lot of people took 2 tires, no fuel, or no tires rather. That included Becca Brown, the winner off pit road, that had a 5-6 second pit stop there.
Right.
I mean, interesting plays here. And now they'll get resorted again as we will have time to get rolling about a 41 lap run to the end, Morgan. Your thoughts on the race so far tonight?
Been good. Just been a good one to watch. A lot of good battles, a little strategy action in here. Some drama throughout the race as well, with some drivers catching damage in bad spots. And it's just been an enjoyable race, as we've seen for a lot of the season across the Mystic Racing League. But the Slim Chickens Cup Series rarely disappoints, and it's not disappointing here at Pocono tonight.
Definitely. And that being said here, it's definitely been a track position race, it feels like, for the most part, all night. Because we've seen a few strategy roulettes on the evening. Now we get to do it again.
I'm almost surprised that tonight the strategy or the track position is almost more important than it was at Worldwide Technology Raceway in the last 2 nights. Because usually that track is impossible to pass at. I feel like it's been harder to pass here tonight than it was the last couple nights.
And keep in mind, next week is a curveball that drivers are going to have to think about pretty soon as well here, Morgan. Next time out, Montreal is the track.
Yeah, home game for us, so to speak.
I mean, do you speak French?
No. And I mean,
no.
In a manner of speaking, would that not be the closest track on the schedule to where you're located?
It would be. No, Michigan would be.
Michigan for you? Okay. Mine is... I actually don't know where mine is. I would think probably Kansas. So I'm a ways away. But regardless, it's in the same country, so technically a home game for me. Either way, we're going to try it out on Thursday. We'll see how it does.
Absolutely. So, getting ready. Restart here to reset your field. Winnington and Stellard. Stellard's highest point of the race tonight. Hinson and King. Hayes and Brown. Barnes and Dixon. Wilson up there along with Marino Jr. UL 14 for Billings. Coming up to 41 to go, as we said. A lot of people chose the outside instead of the inside here. And we're ready for the restart zone. Green, green, green.
Good job for Whittington. Is Marino way to the outside.
Already Stellard up the track. Becca Brown getting squeezed nearly 3 wide. Here comes Marino Jr. looking for the speed in the 48.
It surprises me every time they can fan out that wide in 1 and 2 and still make it off of that pinch point on the exit without any contact. 3 wide into 3.
Now working their way through tight.
Yeah, Brown
Hayes.
leaving no room for King in the middle.
King able to withstand it though. Got a little bit more speed compared to Hayes, and Marino Jr. will just drive around them all.
The track position for the King is not working. The whole goal of this strategy was to maintain in front of cars who just pit. He is already the worst car on this strategy in terms of running position, as he's the only one not in the top 3.
Oh, Marino Jr. nearly got himself hooked around. Avoid the contact though. The first side-by-side now features Robertson. His Black Diamond machine sends it up the inside. Just about clears on through as you see Brown try and find a way around the 5, who tries to see if this works on strategy. One of those from the IndyCar side we talked about. The VRL machine looks to stay to the outside of the 12.
He went way high in 1. Gonna get a decent run off the corner. I don't know if it'll be enough to pull back even with the 12. No, 12 got him. As they are scrapping. Dixon way down below the dotted line.
A little bit of close calls, as you said, and this is kind of the aggression you expect off the starts here with Pocono. It's been that type of an evening to just lick the stamp and send it.
Oh, he got King in the door. And I think wanted to give the spot back.
With that being said here, Battle sees more time lost. Stellar continues to let cars go here with his strategy play. Marino Jr. Not as quick as before, was 2/10 off the pace of the leader last time by. Remember, Whittington was equal to the 48 on pace when he had track position earlier. So this is, for the first time in a while, clean air for him, and he can really capitalize here if he plays this right.
Yeah, he might have played the perfect strategy here to get himself back into this race.
Exactly, and now, right now his pace, only a 10th of fall off so far from his personal best. Everyone else in the train working about where they want to go. That includes Ullman, who we talked about with some contact earlier, playing about 13th, about where he started, deep in the order. Right now, it's almost becoming the calm part of the race, I guess you can argue, because it's similar to that of the longer runs we've seen earlier, Morgan, where a lot of these drivers were just bonding and playing with the fuel mileage. They're doing it again, but this time trying to make sure no yellows to really disrupt the chances on the fuel mileage until we get in the window at least.
Right, no need to be saving fuel here aggressively because we're going to one-stop it to the end no matter which strategy you're on. You're in the window to one-stop. It's just like you said, though, a caution right now would really burn some drivers, especially if you pit on that last caution and didn't get the track position back. You'd feel a little burned right now because you would lose the track position that you lost under that caution. Oh, there's a spin, Zach. Is that King? Is that the 25? It's mopping. Oh, my goodness. Violent hit.
You know, Tucker is in it.
Oh,
Vincent's
wow,
in it.
Tucker. Almost got cleaned out by the 71.
Elijah Moppin just said, you know what, I'm done. And that's another destroyed machine for Meatball. And our Meatball flight coming up.
I mean, yeah, that's... Ugh. That was a big-time hit. I don't think he got touched from the 34. I think he just got loose in front of him. From the nose of Ullman. You see the 25 just sail it off in there. And yeah, I don't know if he actually got touched. That car just went around.
Yeah. Race control making its call. Moppin saying race control. Race control is saying that 29 did not have any contact from anybody. They're making additional looks at that incident. 25 should say instead. Should.
Yeah, as soon as he touched the throttle, it just went around. So, oh man, what a big collection of hits. And then here comes the 71 yellow car right there. Actually, I thought that was close. I thought that was closer than it was. Definitely not very close at all. But Vincent, nowhere to go. This landed right in his lap.
So this is not going to put us in the window to make it on fuel here, Morgan.
No, I was just saying a caution right then was a really bad thing for some drivers. And what do you know? It wasn't even a lap later. We got the yellow. This is going to shake things up. We are still a ways out of the window. Yeah, I mean, we're, what, 34 laps away from the window? I mean, that's pushing it longer than our longest run of the day on fuel.
And a lot of people will take that gamble, especially knowing what happened with the 10 in particular and a few of the others that were trying to stretch before. I don't know. So, well, for Zachary King and John Stellar, they kind of had to try something there. They're 16 laps into their runs. Whittington and Hinson, it's pretty clear they do not want to risk going in that pack again.
Yeah, they just want to keep track position. I definitely can't blame them for that. What I think they're hoping for now is, I mean, they still have to pit, though. That's the thing, is they can't just ride it out under caution. I'm not really sure what they're hoping for at this point. I mean, if we go green, we still have to pit one more time. They'll have to pit sooner than everybody else and hope you don't go the lap down, which you shouldn't if you're pitting from up in the top 2 or 3. Yeah, this became very complicated here in the last 5 minutes.
And a lot of those drivers we just mentioned, like Cochran, like Gillen, like Yates and Paz, they are taking the time at least to get the damage repair done, so it at least helps them get faster cars for later. First, that just came down for your tires and, well, tires and fuel, I think it was the case for everyone, is Zachary King.
Yeah, 2 tires for King, 4 for Stellard, and everybody on back. But I would, if I pit here, there is no reason in my eyes to take anything less than 4 tires. And the reason is, I would call this your last reset. Your last stop, there is no way you're taking tires if you pit here, right? You are fuel only all the way. And in fact, King's going to come in here top off. He will not. I probably would have topped off there too. But you're taking fuel only, and you are going to get in and out of the box as fast as possible, because that's your key to winning the race, is minimizing that last pit stop.
So with the choose, Winnington continues to lead. Kingdom Unsos to choose the outside. And Charles Robertson come up to race control, I think they just said. I think that was a close call again for the 48, though, by the way.
Yeah, race control only gives so many warnings for choosing before they start to take action.
Reggie Kime just said he wants the EOL for this caution.
A few drivers before we go green I want to point out for having pretty solid days. How about Dave Billings in the 14, running P11 right now? He's going well for him. Saw John Ullman up in 7th, having a decent day as well, up there. Those two outperforming where they normally run. Corey Jones fits in that group as well, running P9 right now. Good to see that for the 63.
So we're ready to fire off once again in what has been an interesting day. 32 laps to go. Couple drivers hoping for some luck on fuel, to say the very least. Now, Weddington, we're going to see where the strategy takes this race with them up at the front, 19 laps led. Green flag is out, back it away.
And to put the fuel number in reference, I'm hearing 3 short from drivers who just pit.
So it's still a race where you need at least another caution flag.
Right.
And right now, some of the drivers are almost making their own. River Hayes went to the inside. A little close there. Now
Marino Jr.
He is able to keep it out of the wall, though. Getting hounded, though, by a lot of others. It's going to be critical for a lot of these drivers to play this carefully if they want to make sure they keep track position. Know a lot of these drivers searching for clean air like Lewis there to get the run on these battles.
Good move because he's able to get clear of Ullman. Got a great run off of 3. Can he do anything with it down the front? I think he's just going to go ahead and push Marino, the safe bet.
Now, they all try their different lines once again through turn 1. That's been kind of a common facet here at this track over the past however many years. Hinson and Munsos who scraped the wall down again.
Lewis has heavy right front damage.
Yeah, I just noticed that too. That was previous that he's had for a while, so that's going to hurt him long run with the right front.
Make the car turn better, that's for sure.
Now, still looking comfortable for Winnington. We already know that situation in his will happen to be one of those who will make it to the end of this race. Marino Jr. still trying to find a way back up to fourth there as the first side-by-side this time.
He will
And
clear.
it looks like, yeah, got the give and take from Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson, smart driver, understands situation. So might go around Hinson here too. Hinson probably still struggling with some of that damage.
Yeah, and you can tell Hinson not as comfortable compared to some of the others early on in this run. Some side-by-side forming up again. Corey Jones amongst those in it. Zachary King, I think trying to let the car roll a little bit, I think was in the clutch there.
Yeah, a few drivers. River Hayes is the one leading this group who just pit. See if they can stretch it those 3 laps they need to get to the end. This could be a all-time fuel mileage finish in the Mystic Racing League if we keep it green.
It's not a guarantee in this series.
Oh, Cochran just annihilated the turn 4 wall, put it in a body bag.
He's got the right front fender cut just like Lewis does. It was previous though. So I think if anything that adds on to the damage and showcases how difficult that right front is faring up for some of these drivers.
Now that's the C4 special on the 88 and the 8 right now. Those 2 cars matching with the damage, and 8 still has speed in it, but the 88 I think has knocked all the good out of that car.
Trouble, Cochran's around, front straightaway.
There you
88
go.
up the track. No caution yet. We stay green. And that was in front of cars. Surprisingly, no yellow, but that will keep the fuel mileage going.
Yeah, that's something. Let's see what happened here to the 88. I think he was trying to come to pit road and just maybe didn't realize they were too wide behind him. That was, yeah, curious. A lot of cars coming still. Yates and Kime did a nice job avoiding him because he was in the middle of the racetrack and they had to scatter to not hit him in the door. So good work by those 2.
That would have gotten everybody good just about on fuel if we did get a yellow.
Yeah.
Instead,
That put you in the window.
Absolutely. Would have been exactly what Woodington wanted to see. Instead, he is almost at the point of pit stops. And this is now time ticking away for him and Gavin Hinson amongst those up at the front on the fuel mileage game. They're the only 2 that would have to come in with the next 10 laps or so. Then the next wave has an error 7 laps of insurance on gas.
I think the whole field's holding their breath right now. We just saw how easy it is to have a crash, potentially a caution, and it would throw everything out the window should you pit road. Gavin Hinson hitting pit road here. That was a tight clear off the nose of the 17.
Again, in our close play, as you see Hinson having it chuck on down his head. So window is open for drivers to come in for service. Hinson still hasn't made the stall to know if it's going to be fuel only or with tires. The way things are looking here, right now we're running 53.6s still. We're running personal best still, for those wanting to know that situation. So don't be surprised to see, though, the fuel and the tires, because the length of the stop, Hinson took 4 tires.
Yeah, 4 tires. I'm a little surprised at this point that the call is 4 tires. I would have expected no tires and fuel. But he's in the driver's seat and I'm up here, so maybe it's a balance thing. 93's on pit road as well, just about to hit the entry.
My thought is he needed a full tank regardless here,
Right.
Morgan, to get to the end. So why
That's
not
true.
throw in tires?
That's true. King is still half a lap short for those watching. We're getting the live update from the 51 back in 12th.
My kind of thought to that is keep both hands on the steering wheel.
And he's also 11 seconds off the pace right now in terms of behind the leader. Driver,
Really?
Zachary King.
I think he knows he's on camera here.
Yeah, there it is. Waiting all day for this.
I think he's trying to type in the middle of the corner again.
Marino's on pit road. Beckett Brown's on pit road.
Well, that's an interesting one from Rio Jr. He still had some time if he wanted to. Obviously thinking, try and limit any time loss compared to those who made the call, because remember, King was amongst those who made the early call and made it work with clean space.
If King can make it, the battle is between Whittington and King. Where does Whittington get off of pit road? That's the question right now. When he makes his pit stop, which is going to happen here in the next 2 to 3 laps.
Right now you see, not sure what the signal was of right here.
Gillen can make it to the end from here. I think Zach's the same way. Lewis is on pit road. King just knocked the wall down.
I think he's gotten preoccupied with multiple things at once.
I would
But right
say
now, right now, Gillen is in that same pack. Billings is trying to find a way also to work with them, but is in a much worse fuel situation. Right now, they're losing a second a lap to the leaders. And mind you, one of the drivers they're going to have to keep an eye on is Beckett Brown, who took a 2-tire stop. He is right now within about 25 seconds of them. And that's going to be interesting to keep where the pace is going to be.
I still think the car we're watching is Whittington. It's really going to depend what he's clutching. What he can do. And I think I would assume he's pitting this lap, possibly next lap. If he comes out ahead of King, which like I said, I don't think he can, but depends how far back he comes out behind King, because the gap's right now 13.5 seconds and growing between those two. This is going to be tight. I'm not counting you out, Joshua Gillen. You're doing great.
I don't think anyone's counting that strategy plan out here.
No, I think it's
tough.
It is. It's going to be difficult to make it work. Not pitting this time for Whittington.
Gonna try and keep on as long as he can on the racetrack.
I think Billings coming down this time.
He's taking a look, and there is not going to be a stop.
Oh, Gillen just, wow.
I think he damaged the car. That was a hard hit. He already had the damage, I should say. Which, oh man, Kane really backed it up.
Both fenders on the 10 are damaged, left front and right front.
With that happening there, some of the others trying to run their own race here. Leader keeps
still
on the
not
track.
pitting.
Still not sure where it's going to go on the lap total. He's right up to 30. River Hayes doing solid on the pickup.
Barnes on pit road.
Yep, he was only 14 laps into the run.
I think this is just a break-even point on tires with 20 laps to go in the race. Pit here, it gives you enough time to sort out whatever the answer is going to be to the test at the end of the race. Whether it's a short run or a long run, you have enough time to figure it out. Barnes got it away already. Fuel only, 6.4 in the box.
Decided to take the call early. Up on his case. Right now, the gap between King and Brown is
Whittington,
still
pit road. This is the question. Where does King come out in reference to Whittington.
Yeah, that's the huge one. There's King. Zip, zip, zip.
So King passes him right now.
Oh, trouble. Billington stopped to the racetrack. He's got him back going.
He missed pit road.
No caution.
Goodness gracious. Whittington is, I think, down and away. Not quite. Still in the box. Just now leaving. 11.5 in the box. King is, they flipped the lead. It's 13.5 seconds. Scratch that, 20 seconds, the gap between King and Whittington. But Brown alongside. This is the battle for the lead if King and Gillen can't make it. Barnes in that battle as well.
All these drivers definitely good to go on gas. Need to start trimming the gap down as quick as they can, and they aren't necessarily doing it too fast yet. Last time by, Brown was a second quicker, though. Here's the thing. If that's the pace the rest of the way, I don't know if they get there.
I don't think this is a case of them catching Zachary King on pace. This is a case of it's King. If he can make it on fuel and Gillen can make it on fuel, they are top two. I don't see a way forward where it's going to be a second a lap that's being gained. As Whittington gets by Brown on those two tires. Hayes and Robertson fight for the lead at the moment. Robertson should be in, I think, 3 laps from now. Hayes has about 10 more laps. Will put him well close to the end of this race before he has to make his pit stop.
Pit road was closed and then reopened. Apparently there was an issue with pit entry for a couple drivers, so they had to just reopen it.
Cycle it. Happens. iRacing's been doing some funky things recently with timing and scoring, with removing admins from sessions, from pit entry, pit exit, just strange stuff happening in the last little while. We've seen a couple races where we had the green flag thrown on the backstretch and the caution thrown at the start-finish line on a restart. Just weird things like that. Just, I don't know. It happens sometimes.
Definitely does with the way things have gone. Of course, a lot of things were updated with the patches and build, obviously. Not necessarily the biggest focus on the oval side. San Diego was an interesting one with Naval Base Coronado making his way to the sim now with the NASCAR coming up. So there were a few adjustments to the cars, but it wasn't substantial like we've seen in past builds.
Well, the gap between King and Whittington, it's dropping. About 15 seconds is the gap, and King is going as slow as he can to save as much fuel as possible. Gillen's in the same boat. They have the knot in their stomach. Can tell.
Nervousness definitely going to come up here with the way things are going. And got a good gap. Zach White just mentioned he's coming down pit road, has had some struggles tonight. John Ullman's coming down pit road this time by. So we're under 15 laps to go.
Leaders coming to pit road here. Robertson.
There he is. And now Hayes leads it. Has lots of space up in front. First time all night Hayes has led.
You need the point, I think. Points racing against the 93. I don't believe Wilson's led tonight.
Yeah, and you're right in terms of that. For Wilson, hasn't led tonight. Remember, Hayes was your points leader with 4 victories entering the evening in the Accelerated Motorsports machine, after all. Right now, time ticking away. He can go as late as possibly 8-ish to go based on our original window estimates. And thing is, I don't know if he's been saving like some of the others here have. Oh, he's coming down. Hayes is petting this time.
There's Hayes, got that 1 lap lead. That's all he needed. Could lead back to Dixon, who does not need the points.
Dixon's already led 4 laps here tonight in this one. So the 89 slides up the track and nearly scrapes the wall for good measure. Hayes and Munso's putting on tires. Kane and Gillen still up at what could be up front. Right now, that 51 would like to get a win at a place not in the state of Florida we've seen in other series.
Yeah, he's been quite good down there in Daytona. This is a different 2.5 mile. Could not be much more different. Only similarities that they're both paved in America and are 2.5 miles. That's really the only similarity between those two racetracks. Doing what he has to right now. It's, will this hold up? The gap 10 seconds now with about 10 laps to go. We are very close on the math here. And don't forget, Gillen's going to be getting better mileage with the draft. So if for whatever reason King can't make it, Gillen would be in the catbird seat.
Just letting the 51 pull him around the racetrack here with this plan. They have 11 to go at the stripe from Pocono. Still waiting for Dixon and Stellar to come into pit road for their stops as well. Also in the calls, trying to figure out where they go are good. We know who likes to save fuel as well, but he's 6 seconds back on it. Ricky Paz, Reggie Kine are those that are all in that same strategy window, trying to pick up points here. And we know Kime has already strategized his way up towards the front in one stage. Can he do it in stage 3?
Yeah, Kime and Paz are just hoping for a caution. Cycle themselves up to the front. I still don't think they're going to, unless they've been saving heavily. They could be on the same strategy as King, though there are ways back to do it. And they probably get shuffled by on the restart, but still, caution's probably their best bet unless they can make it, and then obviously take the probable top 10. But first car on with fuel is right behind them, so.
So, time ticks away still. 7 seconds. The gap between those who have pitted and not. Stellar just came down, coming to 10 laps to go. So there's his yield down. Now move the 51 and the 10 to second and third respectively on the racetrack. Dixon continues to keep it out there for hoping for a caution. Kane and Gillen are clutch and coasting for reference up into turn 1.
Oh, contact!
Here's a look at Dixon with the contact with lappers.
Give Lauren Vincent a bit of a shove up out of the groove. No harm, no foul. Stellard gone and away. I think another 4 or 5 laps we can go on fuel here. We can get right down to the end of this thing for Dixon. In fact, Dixon isn't out of the possibility of making it to the end on fuel either. He's only got 1 more lap than Zachary King, though he has not been saving like Zachary King has been. So nervous times. Whittington 5 seconds behind King.
This is getting more and more here. So 55-2s for those stretching it. Whittington pushing as much as he can. He's not turning his best laps. He's 6/10 off that mark, but he's trying as hard as he might. With the Munster 2 tire calls, Gillen still in save mode, but he's a little bit closer than he was before. Not willing to push it yet, just trying to change up the lines for his rotation.
He might be trying to get around King. Remember, the draft would help him this entire run save more fuel. Is he maybe trying to run the 51 out of gas?
I'm not sure either. It is a play you can do. Gillen's still going to have to make sure he doesn't hit the walls, though. And right now, that gap I think you're about to say is 3 seconds.
Yeah, it's 3 now, and with 8 to go, I don't know if they're going to be able to hold him off. I don't know if they have enough speed in the car to hold him off. They could manage it when it was a second to fall off, but we're 2 seconds slower right now. King is than Whittington. There is no way they can hold him off at this pace.
Right now, they need a miracle here.
The hope is just don't run out of fuel. You have to be right on the number, or else this whole thing is for naught. You're going to finish like 20th.
Charles Robertson had to come down pit road again. The 17, I don't think had enough gas.
Oh, that is a heartbreaker. He's probably going to get a top 10. It's over now. Paz on pit road for his final stop of the night. Here comes the leader, Dixon on pit road.
This will give the lead to these two, but only for so long. Gap is about 2 seconds now. Coming up to 6 laps to go. 10 still likes to keep it wide off the corner. Tries to build up the run to try and push along Kane, and there's the shot you see with Whittington in the background. He's in drafting distance to get there.
Yeah, they're in the same frame, and that is not a good sign for your top two, King and Gillen. They are seeing their chances of getting this race win slip away by every corner that Whittington gets closer. And Beckett Brown's not too far behind either, so should the 15 get held up getting around those two, Beckett's 2.5 seconds back.
Coming to 5 laps remaining. Gillen again deep on the entry. Whittington looking to try and get a win and try and make a statement in the Cup Series immediately. Right now, right behind. 5 laps to work with here from Pocono. Gap is only 0.8. Here comes the move for second. The 15 car on track, the 94 in sim. Whittington to second, ready to take the lead.
Yeah, easy clear for the 15. 1 car in front of him and no rush to get around Zachary King. Coming to 4 more times around, JP.
Whittington has all the time in the world to make this move. He's got a huge run. Here it comes for the race lead. Whittington.
Oh, big
cut
block.
Inside.
Oh my goodness, put Whittington in the wall.
Whittington not gonna like that. We'll try that again.
Gillen's on pit
had
road.
the pit.
Oh, that is bad news for King.
King still trying to stretch. Race control says be smart. Whittington looks to make that smart move. Is he going to try it in the tunnel turn? He looks into the inside. King goes to the inside. Whittington goes nearly to the bumper. Now has to back up again.
King's got to be careful here. You make too many more moves like that, there would be no lift into a corner. 15 alongside. Up off of 2. King got tight and clear.
Jesse Whittington up to the front. Less than 3 to go now. And the Chevy looks to try and win on debut in the Cup Series. Whittington looking to run.
Just under 7.5 miles from a pole win, potential race win. If we can get back to the white flag. Down that long backstretch into turn 2. Gap increasing for the lead, JP.
Yeah, at speed at the beginning of this race, Morgan, and you noticed his speed in previous series. In terms of Mystic Racing League, definitely backed up the speed here tonight. Kept it up at the front with track position with stage 3 and worked it to perfection.
2.5 miles until we get back to the white flag, and then anything that happens would end this race. All Whittington wants to see is that white piece of fabric flying in the air.
Well, everyone keep it clean. Robertson has not gone back on the track. He is officially done for the night. Lap and a half to work with. Just about everybody that was trying to stretch on fuel did have to come down, except for Zachary King. He looks to try and salvage a top 3 on the fuel mileage. But as we come up to the white flag this time by, Whittington just needs to keep it clean for 3 more corners. He'll take the white flag. 1 lap to go from Pocono.
So far, no contest for Jesse Whittington. Marino looked like he had the speed to get the job done. The pit sequence had Marino fall away. And Whittington off of turn 1 and down the backstretch. 2 more corners to go to win in the debut.
Whittington impressed from the start. He's led 35 laps tonight. He and Marino Jr. were the dominant cars. Marino Jr. didn't have to look for his strategy in stage 3, but Whittington outwitted them all. He'll roll through turn 3. Jesse Whittington drives his way out of the final corner. Welcome to Slim Chicken's Cup Series victory lane, Jesse Whittington. Whittington ends up leading a race tying 36. Zachary King, believe is just about out of gas. He held on over Beckett Brown, Morgan.
He made it to second. Brown in third. We'll chat with those 3 after we see Whittington burn it down and go through our results. Few drivers still yet to finish. Waiting on Joshua Gillen, Ricky Paz, Zach White, I believe would be the 3. As Reggie Kime ran out of fuel on the final lap.
So a few drivers definitely having close calls with the way things shaped up there.
It was Lauren Vincent who didn't make it back to pit road either. But none of that matters now. Checkered flag flew. And Jesse Whittington, victorious here in Pocono.
Sofa News victory lane awaits. Jesse.
Here's how your race ended here tonight. Whittington gets the job done. He will win the race here. Zachary King on the fuel mileage call steals away a second spot. Beckett Brown going to finish in the 3rd position. Christian Barnes in 4th spot. River Hayes hangs on to 5th, up 21 positions from where he started. Dustin Lewis in 6th position. Dixon will finish in 7th in his debut. Wilson in 8th. Clayton Good in the 9th position. And Gavin Hinson rounds out your top 10 in 10th, where he started earlier in the day. John Ullman finishes here in the 11th spot. Stewart will finish in 12th. Marino Jr. looked like he had a race-winning car. Things did not go his way at the end. Finishes in 13th. Jones in the 14th spot. Gillen couldn't save enough fuel. Relegated back to 15th. Ricky Paz in the 16th position. Reggie Kime ran out on the final lap. Final car on the lead lap in 17th. Dave Billings, only car one lap down in 18th. Yates finishes 5 down in the 19th spot. Robertson left the session early, finished 20th, 7 down. Zach White in the 21st position. Lauren Vincent in 22nd. Cochran 23rd. Harold Tucker the 3rd in 24th. Maupin 25th. Then Moyer, Pfiffner, Romano, Adams, and Knopfschneider round out your 30-car field here this evening. Now let's get down trackside and chat with your race winners. Start off with the race winner. That would be Whittington. Small technical difficulty here. Looks like we're back. Jesse Whittington, Morgan.
Hello there.
And was JP having connection issues in Victory Lane? You got a copy?
I got you, man.
All right, just hold on one moment here while I get these graphics correct. Oh, something is definitely awry here in the VSPEED booth. Anyway, we're fine. Sofa News Victory Lane logo should be in the corner. It's not there right now. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Started on pole, debut in this series in particular, led a race high 36 laps. And coming to the end of the race, you get the job done. What does it mean to you to win in your debut here at Pocono?
I'll be honest. I know the level of talent that this league has. I run on Wednesday nights now. I'm new over there. I think I only have like 4 races under my belt over there, but I'm way more comfortable in these cars. I saw Pocono, and I had somebody reaching out saying that they needed a sub, so I was like, screw it, let's do it. And I saw it was Pocono, and I said, all right, let's do it. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I love this track for some god-awful reason. And, man, it feels good to come into a league with talent stacked the way that they do around here and be able to pull off a win. I mean, I've got a total of 6 races with, with Mystic in general. So this feels real nice.
So let's talk about the race itself now. You were racing against the 48, Marino Jr., for a lot of the race. He seemed to have the fastest car today. Somewhere in that pit sequence, it fell apart for him, and you ended up on the right side of it. And then at the end, King stretched the fuel all the way to the end, ended up taking second. Was there a concern for you when you were some 20-odd seconds back after the pit stop that King was going to get you, or maybe even Beckett Brown, who you came out beside off a pit road? I mean, how stressful were these last 20 laps for you?
To be honest with you, I didn't think too much about Zachary being able to save that much. I mean, it's hard to save, even 4 laps of fuel in these cars at this track, much less, he saved like 8 laps in only a 35 lap run, or 34, whatever it was, to the end. And so I wasn't even concerned about that. I was just, whenever I came off of pit road and or no, I'm sorry, whenever Beckett Brown came off a pit road and just ahead of me, I was more concerned about that, trying to get back in front of him, kind of dump a little bit of dirty air on him and work my way towards the front. But props to Zachary. I wasn't expecting that huge block with 2 to go, but it is what it is, and we were able to find our way past them. And I'm really happy. I came down pit road with 50 to go, and I told River and Caleb, who ended up kind of halfway spotting for us through the end of the race. I told both of them, I'm committed to only stopping one more time. And whenever I looked at my tires, I was like, I think I could take 2 tires, top it off with gas, and get to the finish. And worked out great. As for the 48, I don't know what happened to him. But Yeah, he was bad fast at the beginning of the race. And I have to say, I'm sorry to the 39 early on in the race. I accidentally got into him under caution, and I was looking down at my black box trying to make some adjustments, and field slowed up, and I didn't check up in time. So I'm sorry to him. That's why I ended up going down pit road and stopping and letting everybody by. I felt horrible. So it was just a recovery drive from then on out.
And recovered, you did. Recovered all the way to the top spot, getting the win here tonight. Anyone specifically you want to thank or shout out here for a win in the debut in Pocono?
Absolutely. First and foremost, every race I do, I got to thank my wife, my kids. They never complain when I come out here and do this, and they know how much I love it. They support me. I can't thank them enough for their support. On the hood tonight, we have Secret Lab. I'm loving my chair that I have with them. The permission from them to run their logos. Thanks to Nubwo gaming headset. It's a wireless headset. If you're looking for something cheap on Amazon, it's got good quality. Not the best quality, but it's got good quality, and you get about 100 hours of gaming time on a full charge. Definitely recommend it. Luke Haley, always have him on my cars. Also have to thank Moza and Logan with Big Fish Barbecue. I can't thank him enough. He's always supported me, and I always try to do what I can to support him. Thanks to you guys for putting on the broadcast. And I can't wait to go back to watch this one. And of course, thanks to the league for giving me the opportunity. And hopefully I didn't make any bad blood tonight. That was a fun race, and I hope I can come back again.
All right, well, that's Jesse Whittington, your winner here in Pocono. Congratulations. Savor it, because we're on to next week, north of the border in Montreal.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a great rest of your night.
You as well. Race winner, Jesse Whittington. Now, I believe we have Justin Prince back in the booth. Is that correct?
Yes, indeed. After a bit of a technical blip and internet outage there, Zachary King, you're typing and saying, I'm good on fuel. I think I'm good on fuel. You made it on fuel. Just held on to second. Talk us through the pressure you were feeling.
Oh man, yeah, fuel is great. Gas is great. We got the Logano fuel tank, so because we're a Ford, so we could stretch the fuel a bit longer than everybody else. So yeah, I don't know how it happened, but it just stretched. I was like, okay.
So, in terms of a race like this, how do you feel about the fuel mileage aspect of what felt like the entire evening?
Big shout out to iRacing for the new fuel calculator. That was my best friend the last 3 days. All 3 races I tried to stretch it on fuel. Wasn't able to get it done on any of those ones, but able to do it in the cup race, so that's always cool. Yeah, I love fuel mileage racing. I always liked fuel mileage racing. I like numbers. I'm a numbers guy. And when I was talking with Christian in stage 1, he said he was good for 30, and I was like, okay, all right. So then stage 2 came around. Obviously it was like a 32 lap run. And I was like, you know what, let's try it. And then we were good to the end of the stage. Just had the caution late in stage 2, so came down, put 4 tires on, flipped the stage essentially because I wasn't really battling for stage points all day. So why am I gonna risk getting stage points? So able to fight there, and then just seeing how much time we had left. I knew my strategy was gonna be with like 20 to go. I was gonna come down and put 4 tires on and top it off on fuel. But then the caution came out with like 37 to go, and I was like, you know what? Screw it. I didn't do it all day. Got to do it once, and just stuck to the strategy off rip, didn't shift. Was able to save at least 2-3 laps without shifting, so that was surprising to me. And then the rest I was just clutching and coasting. Thought Galen had enough. He's the one I was really worried about. Really wasn't worried about Jesse. I didn't think Jesse would catch us that fast. But then when Jesse caught us and Galen pitted, I was just even more shocked. I was just bombarded with that because I thought he'd be good because he was following our draft the whole time. But yeah, I can't be mad at a P2, especially the field mileage finish. Threw a nasty little block on the 94, tried to get it done, but didn't happen. All right.
How do you feel about Montreal next week?
Oh, it's a road course. We're gonna get our road course guys out here, and they're gonna sweat it up and try to swim in this fishing pool of theirs, and yeah, but that's really it. I mean, we'll probably run 15th or 20th. It's usually how it goes with the road courses when you get the road course guys in. But it is what it is.
Any shout you'd like to give here tonight?
Yeah, shout out to Ideal Pest LLC. They're the reason we're able to field 2 other cards. Hate the days for both of them. They both took really hard hits. Got to check on them. Hopefully they're alive and well. Those are very vicious hits for the 29 and the 92. But yeah, shout out to Ideal Pets LLC. They put us out here for good runs. Shout out to Meatball Motorsports. Always working in the sim. We were doing a lot of reviewing and studying last night of what to do to be faster, and it didn't work, but still pulled it off second. Again, shout out to Advanced Work Vans, Gilbert's Fleet, Jet Blossom Designs, K1 Speed, MX Wraps, Tizio Designs. Wasn't able to get it done today, but just happy with a good finish and P2 finish. We'll be bounced back for Montreal hopefully, and try to get it done when we go back to super speedways.
Congratulations on the run tonight, Zach.
Thank you.
Zachary King gets second place here tonight in this one. Morgan Williams, you're catching up with third place, Beckett Brown.
Beckett, Morgan and JP up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Doing well. Solid third place run today for the Graham Crackers Racing, number 12. It looked like there were going to be two of you battling for the win here with yourself and Marino Jr. Something went to the wayside with the 48, but you were able to persevere and finish up in the third position. Looking back at this race from the end of stage 2, what more could you have done? What could you have done differently to reverse your spot on the podium and get the dub?
Obviously, not hit the wall in turn 2 probably would have got me second, but I liked our strategy pitting there at the caution in the second stage and then pitting again. I think I probably could have done what Anthony did and just stay out, but I had about 5 seconds of damage. Didn't want to risk it and lose it all on the next pit stop. So I think we would have been fine, do the track position, because he was way faster than me. And then he just kind of got what wheel damage. So I think we could have won this race taking 4 doing his strategy, but I'm not mad with how we finished out.
Yeah, in a race where you did not lead a lap tonight, one of the rare times this season you have not led a lap. But starting back in 2017, you didn't get a good qualifying effort in. Does third feel like a win in a race like this, or is it a disappointment going forward?
Obviously, third place is good no matter how you get there. It's a win for starting 27th. I wish our strategy would have played out better, but not leading a lap. I was really close. I was near pit road, and I saw it about 1.1 laps left, and I didn't really want to risk it, so I just dove down behind Anthony. No point trying to risk it and running out, not making it to your pit stall and throw the race away. But yeah, I'll take it as a win. We got, I think, 14 stage points, and then on top of the third place, so that'll be good, considering I'm going to be gone the next couple weeks, I think.
Oh, no Montreal for you.
No Montreal, unfortunately.
Oh, I was just going to
Can't
ask.
defend my road course crown.
Yeah, you got to be looking forward to the road course north of the border, but if that's the case, well, Field's got a chance next week. Goodness gracious. When can we expect to see Beckett Brown back in the car?
Hopefully New Hampshire. No, I should be back.
Sounds good. We'll see you in a few weeks' time. But while we got you up here, who do you want to thank and who do you want to shout out for a podium finish here, third spot in Pocono?
Dan Motorsports, obviously, Derek and Adam back at the shop. Aaron not being with us tonight in spirit. Obviously, Anthony, he helped plan the strategy. Grady Graham Crackers Racing, doing the spotting tonight, helping with the strategy. Little joint venture today. Consider we were only damn guys, and then got to rep the Graham Cracker car for A Open. So all those guys, everybody racing clean. Yeah, that's all I got to say for the race. I really don't like this track, so to finish P3 is a win.
Yeah, well, you got the job done here today, finishing P3. Great points day for you, Beckett. Congratulations. We'll see you next time out when you return in New Hampshire.
Thank you. I'll see y'all later.
You bet. Third place, Beckett Brown.
Mike, thank the entire top three are speaking with streaming post-race coverage here on VSPEED here for the Slim Chickens Cup Series. Your final thoughts tonight on tonight's MRL race, Morgan, because fuel strategy definitely came into play with the way things went over the 6 total cautions, including this end of the stages. But in the end, it still came down to who had the fastest car.
Yeah, just a really solid race, I think, all the way around. Exciting, fuel mileage drama, great racing on the racetrack. Never really knew who was going to win. We obviously had our favorites throughout the day. We thought the 48 was good, the 12 was good, the 15 obviously was pretty stout as well, but it was never signed, sealed, delivered who was going to get the job done, and I think that really goes to how much recruitment's happened in the Mystic Racing League recently, and got some very stout drivers in here. excited to see where this goes in the future.
An interesting running of the Tricky Triangle 275 tonight. Jesse Winnington on Cup debut, coming away with the win. But it's time to say goodbye for tonight's coverage. For our co-announcer and producer, Morgan Cook. For our camera provider, I'm Dougie Beard. I'm Justin Prince saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We hope you enjoyed tonight's coverage of the Slim Chickens Cup Series and the MRL. We'll see you next time when we go racing from Montreal.